to install your Enagic K8 machine while installing a 3-stage pre-filter system and also a custom ionized faucet. This is great if you don't want the water supply line from the K8 attached directly to your kitchen faucet, because then it will move back and forth every time you move your faucet. So if you have this, it goes in a hole in your countertop and then it plumbs down to the water supply line and also connects to the pre-filter system. I'm going to walk you through and kind of screenshot each step by step for you and give you a close-up of how I install this K8. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set up my 3-stage pre-filter system. When you get it, it's gonna come with the stages that you'd like, a top bracket. It's gonna come with 2 little elbows that look like this. They have threading on one side and a push and release on the other side. And you're also gonna get some hard flex push and release tubing. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna thread this on either side. This is to tighten the containers. So if you notice in transport and when you get it, sometimes it might be a little loose. And then also when you want to replace the filters every year, this little thing you want to keep handy because it's easy to tighten and loosen the filters. Okay, so my pre-filters are ready to go. I've unboxed my K8. I have the power cord, the electrolysis enhancer. I'm ready to go. The first step we want to do is turn off the cold water. We can either do this by turning off the main water to the house out front, or simply under the sink. The cold water supply line is always located to the right or the bottom. There is a hot water supply, and that's located on the top or to the left. We never want to run hot water through an ionizer, so we'll be hooking this up through the cold water supply. When you get your box, you will get a fitting like this. If you notice, they're kind of small fittings on the side. However, if you notice that your water supply line is larger, this little end comes off, and you notice it's a larger diameter. You take this piece, you turn it around, and you connect it to the other side, and it will screw in like so. So then you have a larger dimension. Some faucets underneath are very small and some are larger. And so this will go in between your water supply line main, and then what it does is it goes to your tap water faucet. It's already connected underneath, so basically this is just a T that you're gonna locate in the middle. I'm gonna take you under this sink and show you right now. Okay, we are now under the kitchen faucet. As you notice, my cold water supply line is underneath the hot. So this one is the cold. And what we want to do is, again, we want to turn the water off. So we're going to go to the right and make sure that water is off. Now we're going to be connecting the T in between the main water supply line and the hose. What we'll be using is a crescent wrench. So you want to have one of these handy. Once that is nice and secure in there, you can see it, we want to reconnect the hose that's going to your kitchen faucet. Hey guys, I'm underneath the sink, and so I've just used the crescent wrench to double check and tighten the T in between the main water supply line and the hose that goes up to the kitchen faucet. You want to make sure that you don't over tighten to strip anything, but definitely use the crescent wrench and hand tighten that T in between. Right here, this little plastic piece, we want it sticking up because that is the T that's going to go into the pre-filter system and then up to the custom ionizer. Okay, I have my 3-stage pre-filter and I'm ready to hook it up underneath the sink. We have our tubing, and again, remember, on the bracket, there is an in and there's an out. So we want to make sure that we are connecting the inside to the main water supply, and that is through one of these, again, press and release hard tubings. So once we stick it inside the bracket, we want to push it down really hard. If you get any leaks when you turn the water on, guaranteed that one of these is not tight. So you want to push it down really hard. Why it's called press and release? Because if we need to take it out, what we need to do is push down on the sides and then it will just come out. So we want to make sure, again, that we're going on the inside. The in of the filters will be connected to the main water supply, that little white tubing that I showed you back there. All right, so we want to make sure, again, that the water supply line tube is connected to the inside of the pre-filters, and then we get our second tubing, and it's going to go into the out. And then this is going to be plumbed up to the custom faucet. Now we're going to go up on the top of the sink, and I'm going to show you how to install that. All right, guys, so I have the supplies to do the custom faucet. This will be going inside the countertop hole right here and plumb down to the water supply line to operate the K8. This is the custom faucet. It comes with a base right here that will secure to make sure that there's no water leaks. We want to put that on, and then we're going to put it in the hole. All right, if you can see the post that is sticking from the custom faucet, we want to tighten on this washer. We'll go up and tighten it on, followed by the locking nut, and then the washer. Okay, so I just put the faucet and screwed up all the washers and the nuts. Before I put this piece on to the top, I always suggest putting the second tubing in place because this one will always leak. If you screw it on first and then try to put the tubing up, guaranteed it's not in hard enough, and when you turn the water on, it's gonna leak. So I suggest putting it in, making sure that it's locked in place in there, and then now screwing it up on that top piece, and then this end will go into the outside of the pre-filters. All right, once that's securely on, we're going to place that one on the outside. Make sure it's locked in place. We're gonna put the pre-filters underneath the sink. And go up to the K8. All right, guys, we're almost done. Now we're back on top to plug in the K8 and get it hooked up to the faucet. So here's your K8. What we wanna do is the water supply line that is coming from the back of the K8 will now be plugged in to the custom faucet. This little tiny piece right here unscrews. We want to thread this piece on to the water supply line. We want to put the water supply line on the little spout sticking out of it, and then we want to go ahead and thread it back on to secure it down. Make sure it's nice and tight. Also, what you want to double check is that this custom faucet ionizer, when I shake it, that it's nice and secure, that it's tightened from the bottom. And again, you can use a crescent wrench for that, but you want to make sure that this faucet is nice and tight. The top part will move, but the bottom you want to make sure that it's secure so that you don't have any leaks. Now that the water supply line is now threaded on to the custom faucet, we want to go ahead and plug in the K8. Powering on. This is the electrolysis enhancer. Every machine gets a bottle of it. This is to make the strong 2.5 and strong 11.5 alkaline waters. It's gonna go in the bottom here. This is your electrolysis enhancer tank. You just wanna unscrew the top and the entire bottle will go inside the tank. Screw the top back on and secure it back in the bottom of the machine. Place the cover back on. Now we're going to go ahead and turn the water supply on from underneath the sink. Let's go do that now. All right, guys, I just turned my water supply back on underneath the sink. You wanna do this slowly. We just did a lot of plumbing. There's filters and fittings and tubing and the pre-filters that you just wanna double check. Slowly turn that water on to make sure that everything is tight and secure and there are no leaks before you turn it on full flow. When you're good to go, turn that water on and we're gonna come back up and turn on the K8. Now that the K8 is plumbed into this custom faucet, all we're gonna do is turn it to the left and it's gonna turn on and produce our Kangen water. Ready? How simple and easy is that? Now again, your alkaline water that you want to be drinking is coming out of the top hose and the acidic water is coming out of the bottom hose. Now double check that this water is cold. If it is warm or hot, you just plumbed it into the hot water supply line and you need to redo it into the cold water. So always double check the temperature of the water coming out of the Kangen machine. Now we've set up our Kangen K8 with the pre-filters and the custom faucet. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions for me, leave me in a comment below. If it was helpful, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope you have a lovely day, stay healthy and stay safe.